We're going to move on to transportation. I'm going to change up a little bit for this first one. I'm going to throw a question. You're going to give me 60 seconds again. Let's go back to that idea of being a tech CEO. I just arrived at YVR. WTF, why am I waiting for a taxi for an hour? I just came back from the States a few months ago, and I'm like, whoa, I have 2 bags. I can't get on the Canada line. I got to take a taxi. What the fuck am I doing sitting here for half an hour? I'm coming to Vancouver, this so-called global tech hub, and you guys don't have rideshare. There's no Uber. There's no Lyft. What are you going to do about it? And don't give me the BS that it's a provincial issue.
It's
Vancouver. What you're doing right now is we're saying we want innovation here,
yeah.
And yet we don't have rideshare. Like this is
There's
the
a ton of politics played with this thing, and it is a complex issue. And in order to allow it, of course, it is within the hands of Victoria. But I understand that within the coming weeks that they will be bringing forth legislation in Victoria that will have rideshare by fall of 2019. Is what I'm hearing. So what we're going to have that within a 12-month period. I've met and, of course, been speaking with our taxi owners here in Vancouver who, have often been a part of the mix of the conversation and a part of that politics. What we'll be announcing, I think we announced it today, we're announcing it tomorrow, we'll talk about it right now, is a new plan to address the fact that about 194 new cabs were just approved for Vancouver. So we're going to have 194 new taxis on the roads. In the downtown core, we have gained commitment to support a plan with the taxis that would modify the way that you get a cab downtown. We would create cab stands throughout the city downtown core that you would be able to go there and find a car. And that we will commit to wayfinding signage. We'll make sure that we're educating consumers and that there will be reliable places where you will find a cab.
I don't know, man. I still don't think I'll get a cab. Ken?
It's the best we can do right now.
Here's the real issue. It's a political issue, and both the 2 previous governments have kicked it down the road. I've actually spoken to the taxi industry. I've also spoken to representatives at Lyft. The real issue is that the taxi industry just wants a level playing field. And so their cabs, they have to pay over $30,000 in insurance. All they're asking for is everyone pays 30 grand or everyone pays 3. Their biggest issue is the issue that all of our businesses face, and it's they can't find people to drive their cabs. So let's have a real conversation with the province and say, guys, let's just level the playing field and get on with it. And that's what we would do.
Yeah, so Hector's right. It does look like legislation is coming soon, which is, I think, we're all waiting for, and you can have a quicker ride into town if you need it. But what a mayor needs to do is to represent the interests of the city, is to go off and to make sure that they put, the mayor puts pressure on both federal and provincial levels when it's out of our hands. There's a lot of promises in this election that are based on things. I know you didn't want it to be a provincial answer, but it is, and so you have to have a relationship with these folks in order to do this kind of work. And I've been doing this for a long time, so I know how it works. And keen to go and get what the city wants. I really see that as the job of the mayor is that citizens give you direction, and then you go and get it. And if you can't get it, then you explain to people why you can't get it, and then keep fighting.
So I think a lot of the problem on the taxi is there's the medallion holders, and it's a really, really high threshold to get that medallion. And we've made that high at the city. It's a revenue generator for the city. So we're way up here, which means there's not that many of them. And so we need to really look seriously at what we've done. And if we've got a stopgap, I'm fully in favor of Uber and Lyft coming. I think we've waited a long time and went back and forth because we didn't want to alienate the taxi industry. They were an important voter base. Vision did not want to alienate them. So the kind of work that needed to happen to make this better didn't happen. It just took a long time and got pushed to the provincial. Yes, it's provincial, but we also have some work we could do. If we started to really look, if we wanted to really push this, we would look at the pricing of those licenses. And we would work with the taxi industry to get that down and enable more licensing. So that would be, but I'm hoping for the Uber and Lyft coming a little sooner.
I gotta jump in on that. Here we go. Hang on, we're gonna get you a mic. good. I like this. These are coming in handy.
So just listening to what everybody said there, there's no, you talk to taxi drivers, and this is one of the reasons it's been such a political issue. Ask the previous provincial government with a couple of the ridings they lost on this issue. There's no middle ground here. These are taxi drivers. This is their retirement. This is their kids' college fund, etc. So with respect, I don't think you work with taxi drivers to just level the playing field now. But if you're going to destroy their livelihood, they're going to want some compensation for it. And you're right. This is a problem that that various levels of governments have created over the years. So I'm curious what, I guess, Shauna, to you and perhaps all of you, what you do to make that right to them, or do you do what other cities have done and just said, sorry, this is the reality now, and leave them to fend for themselves? Because that is what it will come down to.
Okay, so as I understand the issue, and this is from having looked at it for a while, is that we haven't got that many licenses in the city because the price is so high. So we take down the price on that licensing. We drop the price. The ability to come in.
We're outside the facts here now. So let's just be real. Is that, you know, in speaking with the taxi companies, is that it was a peak at $1 million. They were selling the licenses for $1 million a piece. But let's be really clear that they're worth almost nothing today. I know of 3 individuals who are share owners of cab licenses that have killed themselves in the last 24 months. This has been hugely earth-shattering in the industry and in the community. So that we can't, you're bringing up a really important point here. Like, this has been earth-shattering for families. This is people that leveraged their homes to buy in on these licenses. Now, if we could rewind the clock, history probably would teach us we probably should never have sold the licenses. They probably always should have been 10-year operating agreements. But, you know, that's really for the province to decide. And maybe the province should kick in some money and pay back people for some of their investments. Yeah. And maybe there should be a tax on rideshare that pays back the taxpayer for that whole thing. But that is for the premier to really take bold action on. But let's, okay, well, this is a complex issue, but this is affecting real people's lives. But if I can just close quickly, because there's some things that are really important here. There's approximately 200 new licenses already happening. Yep. And rideshare, and we've talked with the taxis, they seem to be accepting the fact that 2019 is happening. Yep. That's why I was able to negotiate with them a new way of doing business in Vancouver that they felt leveled the playing field a little bit for them.